For great Pokemon TCG product and prices, check out ccgcastle.com.
What's up, guys? En here, and for today's Deck Tech Thursday, I will be profiling for you guys my deck that I took to Athens, Georgia, and that's going to be Mega Mewtwo, Pidgeot, Zoroark. Now, you're probably wondering the same thing a lot of people ask me, and what kind of combination is that? Well, I like to have as many as my Pokemon be able to attack as possible, and I thought it was an interesting concept. Now, unfortunately, I just barely missed out of day 2, getting 6 wins, 3 losses. So, overall, that's actually the best I've ever done in a regionals. I was a little upset about it first, because had I faced any other deck, I had a decent shot. But my last matchup was Mega Gardevoir, which that's auto loss no matter what you do. But my matches were as follows. Like, I faced 2 mirrors, which one of them I lost against, the other one I won against. I also faced off against 2 Yveltal decks. Again, lost the first one, crushed the second, crushed Volcanion, and as you guys know, Gardevoir was my final loss. And my other matches I want to say were, believe it or not, Mega Scizor. Yes, that one I'm really proud of. That was my first match too. I thought, oh no, I'm starting off with a bad matchup, but I actually 2-0 to make a Scizor play with this deck. So, Mega Mewtwo, when it comes to Scizor, Scizor is by no means an auto loss from Mewtwo. By no means. So, without rambling, gonna go on with the deck profile. So, we're gonna start off here with 3 copies of Mewtwo EX. And notice here I'm using 2 damage change and 1 energy absorption. Now, obviously, damage change is a great attack, being able to remove your damage and putting it onto your opponent in most situations. But energy absorption is also a really good attack for just a single colorless, being able to get any energy card from your discard pile and attach it to it, including double colorless. So, really, really good. Not to mention a 10 extra HP is nice too. So, there was actually a few times where energy absorption came in clutch for me. So, really good card. And obviously, since it's a Mega deck, going to be running 3 copies of Mega Mewtwo EX. Psychic Infinity is just a busted attack. Double colorless, 10 and 30 more for each. Energy on both Pokemon, just, oh, that's gonna be broken until the day it rotates. Like, it's gonna be good. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Not to mention with all the support we're getting for Sun and Moon too. Ooh, Mega Mewtwo's gonna be so good. And here comes his supporting buddies. Here we got 2 copies of Pidgeot. Now, one of the reasons I picked Pidgeot was because it's colorless, and it doesn't really matter the type of energy I use. So, it's got 2 attacks, Mirror Move and Feather Lance. Feather Lance is a decent move I've used like maybe once or twice, but Mirror Move is what really did it for me. So, Mirror Move is that it does the same amount of damage that was dealt to the Pidgeot the turn before. So, let's say this. So, say if your opponent hit Pidgeot for 120 damage, Mirror Move for a single colorless energy would hit the back for 120 damage. Matter of fact, oh yeah, that's right, another win, which actually was because of Pidgeot EX. I was actually able to beat Darkrai with Dragons, which is usually a very bad matchup for Mega Mewtwo, but because of Pidgeot, I managed to pull it off. So there was quite a few bad situations for like bad matchups for Mewtwo that Pidgeot can really help you with. And another one, of course, is going to be 2 copies of Zora and 2 copies of Zoroark. Now, this card also really came in clutch for me too, especially against both my Yveltal matches, because both my Yveltal matches were heavy Fright Nights. Yes, there was EX and Garbage too, but they always focus on the Fright Night. Which, the first one, I gotta admit, I just got outbeat. The dude just outplayed me. He was really, really smart. He calculated everything, and like I was just amazing how he did it. But they were both close matches because of the Zoroark. Because with how much your opponent has to bench, it's exactly enough for me to one-shot their Fright Night Yveltal. Because normally with Mega decks, the Mega is your only attacker. So you have to give up a turn without attacking and to just keep using Pitchbox Spirit. Zoroark, you don't have to do that. Just don't worry about the Mega right now. Yeah, power it up, but then just use your stand-in if it's not already in the active, and boom, one-shot that Yveltal like nothing. And there's also lots of things this thing one-shot. This thing one-shot Shaymins, and with the right situation, Hoopa. So, really, really good card. Definitely underestimated. Alright. And next up for our EXs, actually last up I should say, There's 2 copies of Shaman, obvious reasons. And 1 copy of Hoopa, just because every Mega deck out there needs their Hoopa. So that's gonna do it for the Pokemon lineup. Quite a few Pokemon in here, but they all work together really, really well. And it was just a really fun time playing this deck. Alright, next up we're going to go into our supporter lineup. Supporter lineup's not gonna be nothing too special here. So just get that here. So right here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Professor Sycamore. Pretty standard stuff right there. We got 2 copies of N, 2 copies of Lysander, and 1 copy of Hexmaniac. So this is it right here. Like I said, it's nothing too special, nothing out of the ordinary at all. Though I gotta say, forgive me, this at one point was a delinquent, because there were some situations where delinquent came in handy, but Hexmaniac just forgive me. Ooh. Whew. Hexmaniac just came in handy just a little bit more. So that's why I, in the end, picked Hexmaniac over that. Which I'm glad I did, because this is one of the reasons I stomped Volcanion and was able to beat Darkrai Dragons. So, but if you would rather the Delinquents, that is completely fine. It is a good card as well. And I wasn't kidding. That's literally it for my supporters. So now we're going to go into our item count. So we're going to start here with the typical stuff. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Alright, so after the 4 Ultra Ball here, we got 4 copies of VS Seeker. Another standard tool there. Not tool, well, you guys get what I mean. Not tool card, but a tool for your deck. Alright. Also, another really good tool for your deck is going to be 3 copies of Floatstone. You mainly use these for your Zoroarks, but you could also use your spare one here for Pidgeot, or honestly Hoopa, just because he has a fat retreat cost. Alright. Next up is going to be 3 copies of Trainer's Mail. Very, very good search card in this deck. For Mega decks, you always need at least 3, if not 4. And next up, 3 copies of Mega Turbo. Very, very good card as well. Speeds up the energy, especially for Mega Mewtwo. That is everything. And can just turn no energy Mega Mewtwo into a one-shot. Oh, forgive me, guys. Forgive me. Alright. Next up here, going to be 3 copies of Mega Mewtwo Spirit Link. Obvious reasons, we obviously don't want to end our turn with that. And our last item here that's a little bit interesting, 2 copies of Enhanced Hammer. So you're probably wondering why Enhanced Hammer when you get power from your opponent having energy. See, here's the thing with that. It's really good for this because it disrupts your opponent so much more than you just hitting them for a pot. If it's a one-shot, then obviously you don't use the Enhanced Hammer at all. But if it's not going to be a one-shot anyway, and your opponent has something fully powered up with a special energy, it's better to get rid of the special energy and still hit the damage, which is still going to be a lot, than to hit for the slightly more damage that's not only not going to knock them out, but they'll still be able to attack. Like Yveltal. Yveltal is a perfect example, because when I was testing, I actually had a real difficult time with Yveltal. Like, I couldn't beat it at all. And then as soon as I played these 2 Enhanced Hammers, Yveltal was just like, boom, for the most part. Like, it couldn't touch me, other than the one really skilled player I faced. So, other than that one, any other Yveltal deck, as long as I get these, they really can't do anything against me, especially Fright Knight versions. Like, this just really puts a dent into Fright Knight versions. Alright, so, a lot of items here, but this is going to wrap it up for them. Let's get them all here. And next up, we're going for our Stadium lineup. Now, Stadium lineup is very simple. I've only got 3 in here. Have 1 copy of Parallel City, 1 copy of Shrine of Memories, and 1 copy of Reverse Valley. Now, I'll explain the purpose of each one. Parallel City is just because every deck should have a Parallel City. A lot of decks out there nowadays are either Fire, Grass, or Water. So being able to reduce the damage is really good. Not to mention either reducing your own or your opponent's bench. To either get rid of your Shamans or use this against a Mega Gardevoir to where they can't bench as much stuff. So, good way to slow them down for a bit. Shrine of Memories, another obvious one for Mega Mewtwo. You want to be able to damage change with your Mega. and Reverse Valley. Now, Reverse Valley is actually because of Zoroark here. So let's say your opponent has a full bench of 5, and you come up with your Zoroark and use Mind Jack. It's going to do 160, right? Very good for a double colorless, don't get me wrong, but that's not, we're not hitting magic numbers. And by magic numbers, I mean Hoopa numbers. So you play a Reverse Valley for that, then you bring up a Hoopa with their full bench, boom, 2 prizes right there. That can be the difference between game. So that's why I put the Reverse Valley in here, and it worked pretty well, I gotta say. Having 1 each of everything definitely worked out in the end for me. Alright, so last but not least, we are going to be going into our energy count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 basic psychic, and 4 double colorless. And just like that, guys, there you go. Mega Mewtwo, Pidgeot, Zoroark. A crazy idea I had that was so close to making it to top 32. But alas, fell just short of its auto loss. But hey, that's the game. There's really nothing you can do about it. It just happens sometimes. So, and I'm definitely going to be tweaking this up a little bit with the Sun and Moon cards now that we have those out. See, that's the only reason there's not any Sun and Moon cards in here, for those of you wondering, because we're trying to keep these exactly as our Georgia lists had them. So, no Sun and Moon at the time, but yeah, like I said, guys, at time of recording, feel free to put in Sun and Moon cards in here if you have them, because at the time of recording, they will be legal soon. Alright, guys, so that about does it for this video. If you guys like this deck tech, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And stick around for tomorrow where I take on Professor K's Gyarados deck. Let's see who does it. Can I keep my streak going? Or am I going to be put back down in my place? We shall see. We shall see. So, this has been End with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and I'll see you guys later.